And today I'm going to show you how to make the Vancouver Square from the 2020 Vibrant Vintage Crochet Along, or VVCAL. I'm going to start with the slip knot, of course, and then chain 3 and slip stitch in the third chain from the hook. And you can do any center that you prefer. And in that center, we're going to go straight into a beginning 2DC cluster, and that's going to start with a single crochet, no chaining up, just go straight into the center, single crochet, chain 1, and then a DC. And with those put together, it's going to make your first 2DC cluster of the round. Then we're going to chain 2, and then make a regular 2DC cluster. So yarn over, insert your hook into the center, pull up a loop, and draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook, and then just repeat that. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook. And that is the beginnings of your 2DC cluster. So once you draw the yarn through all 3 of those loops, your 2DC cluster is finished. All right, then we're just gonna make chain 2, and your repeat is chain 2, 2DC cluster until you have 8 2DC clusters, including the beginning one, and 8 chain spaces as well. Okay, so here's how it looks so far, and I'll be back once mine is finished. All right, so here's my round just nearly complete. I need to join it, and I wanted to show you how to join into this beginning 2DC cluster to just make it kind of look more like all the others. So this is a full DC, so normally when you would join, you'd go through these 2 top loops right here with your slip stitch. But for this, you're actually gonna go through the front loop and then this loop right here. And that's where you're gonna make your slip stitch. All right, so now your round is joined, and straight into this first chain space, we're gonna work a beginning 3 TR cluster. So that's gonna start with a single crochet, just go straight in for your single, chain 2, and then you're gonna make what's essentially a 2 treble cluster. So yarn over twice, insert your hook into the chain space and pull up a loop, and draw the yarn through 2 loops on your hook twice. Now repeat that, yarn over twice, insert your hook into the chain space, pull up a loop, draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook twice. And once you draw the yarn through all 3 loops, you've got your beginning 3 TR cluster. Okay, so now we're gonna chain 2 and just work a regular 3 TR cluster in the same chain space. Yarn over twice, insert the hook, pull up a loop, draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook twice, and we're gonna repeat that twice more. All right, and now we've got 4 loops on our hook since we've got this leading loop here as well. So draw the yarn through all 4 loops, and your 3 TR cluster is finished. All right, so chain 2, and then in this next chain space, you're gonna work 3 TR cluster, chain 5, 3 TR cluster, and that chain 5 is gonna be your corner. So I'm just gonna go ahead and work this corner here, 3 TR cluster, and then chain 5. Okay, that's how we're looking so far, and then 3 TR cluster again in the same chain space. All right, and then we've got our corner finished. So this chain space is our corner. Now chain 2, and we're at the beginning of a repeat here. So in the next chain space, you're gonna do 3 TR cluster, chain 2, 3 TR cluster, chain 2, and then you're going back to your corner. 3 TR cluster, chain 5, 3 TR cluster. All right, I'll come back when mine is done. So my round is nearly complete. I just need to join, and I just wanted to show you how I join into this beginning 3 TR cluster. So just like before with round 1, you're gonna go through the front loop and then these 2 loops. It's basically, you're just putting all of the loops back on the hook that you drew your yarn through to close your cluster. So those are the loops that you're going to put your single crochet in. I'm sorry, your slip stitch. So that's how your first 3-tier cluster looks more like a regular 3-tier cluster. All right, so straight into this next chain space, we're gonna make a 4 DC popcorn, and this is the beginning 4 DC popcorn, the first one of the round. So you're just gonna go straight into a single crochet and chain 1, and then you're gonna make 3 double crochet. So that single crochet chain 1 is the beginning DC, the first DC of your 4 DC popcorn. So now release the loop from the hook, go front to back through that beginning DC, you're going through the chain there, the chain 1, and then grab the loop, back on the hook, pull it through to the front, and now your popcorn is closed. So now you're gonna chain 2, and then make a regular 4 DC popcorn in the same chain space. All right, so 4 DC in the same chain space. All right, and then release the loop from the hook. Insert your hook front to back through that first double crochet of your 4 DC that you put there. Grab the loop and pull it through to the front. And that's your completed popcorn. Now you're gonna chain 3, and then just single crochet in the next chain space. All right, and then in your chain 5 space here at the corner, you're gonna make 6 2 DC clusters, just like the ones we did in the beginning, with chain 2 in between. So in this corner, you're gonna end up with 6 2 DC clusters and 5 chain 2 spaces. So I'm gonna go ahead and work those out. All right, yarn over, insert the hook, draw up a loop, and pull the yarn through 2 loops on the hook. And let's do that all 2 times. And we've got our 2 DC cluster. Chain 2, and just keep going until you have 6 2 DC clusters and 5 chain 2 spaces. Okay, so here's how that corner looks so far. And then I'm ready to make a single crochet in the next chain space. Then I'm gonna chain 3. And now we're at this center chain space of the side here, where we're gonna do 4 DC popcorn, chain 2, 4 DC popcorn. And we're actually back into the start of our repeat. So that's how we're gonna work all the way around our square back to the beginning. All right, so here we go. I finished this round and I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's finished. So you've got your 4 DC popcorn, chain 2, 4 DC popcorn, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space. And then in this corner, you've got 6 2 DC clusters, each with 2 chains in between. So that little flower here, and then just single crochet in the next chain space without making any chains in between here or anything. And then chain 3, and then you're back to your 4 DC popcorn, chain 2, 4 DC popcorn. And that's how you work all the way around. And I did go ahead and join into the first 4 DC popcorn of the round with the slip stitch. So now we're going to work our second to last round, which is pretty simple. It's just some DC stitches. So straight into this chain 2 space, you're gonna make a beginning DC. So that's gonna be a single crochet and chain 1 without chaining up for that single. And then 2 more double crochet in the same chain space. And then in the next 3 chain spaces, you're gonna work 2 single crochet each, 2 double crochet each, sorry. Right, so just 2 DC in the next 3 chain spaces. And then you're up to your corner where you're gonna make 2 DC, chain 2, 2 DC. And here's how it's looking so far. And then you're gonna make in these next 3 chain spaces 2 DC each, just like we did right here. And the last one, 2 DC. And then we're up to the chain 2 space in between our 2 popcorns. and you're going to make 3 doubles in that chain space. And you're cutting into your repeat now, so you're just going to work that way all the way around to square off your motif. Okay, here's how my round looks, and I joined with a slip stitch in the chain 1 of the beginning DC, and you can see how the round is kind of squared off now. So now we just have our final round, super simple, single crochet in all of the stitches around, and then 3 single crochet in each corner. So you're just going to make singles in all of these DC stitches and 3 singles in each corner. All right, so here is the final product of the Vancouver Square from the 2020 VVCAL. You can see I've joined with the slip stitch in the first single of the round, and that's how our square looks when it's all finished. So if you want more of these squares, you can go to the 2020 VVCAL playlist in my YouTube channel, or you can head to cypresstextiles.net to see all of the written instructions and step-by-step photos as well, and charts and all that good stuff. So I will see you guys for the next video. Bye guys.